Welcome back, friends. Today is Tuesday and we have an order going out. We have one order going out to be exact, and I'll show you that here. Also, I went ahead and came on. I wanted to talk to you about something else. First, I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. It means so much to have new subscribers, and I thank you for watching, and I thank everyone for watching till the end. See what happens. Sometimes I add things on at the ends of the videos. I just want to thank everyone now ahead of time. I realize that not everyone watches all the videos or scrolls back to watch older videos. Not everyone knows everything that I've ever said or that's ever happened to me in my journey with eBay. So it is. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, about eBay stuff. First I wanted to say that eBay has done some new updates, and every time they do updates, the sales slow down. It messes with stuff and we get less sales every time they do updates. And they just did some new updates this month, and they put out an email saying what it is they've done. I'm not gonna make a video over that. Other people have done that. Can't talk. You can look up Rockstar Flipper. You can also watch Flippin' Ain't Easy with John and Jennifer, and he explains everything. And I'm sure there are other channels where they've explained the new updates. It mostly has to do with returns and the way that eBay handles returns, and courtroom litigation and stuff. If you have a dispute with eBay, those are the things that are new that are in the update. As far as I can tell, there's some other stuff with vehicle sales and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't sell cars on eBay, so that doesn't matter to me. Okay, so those are the new eBay updates. But there's been more updates that were not so far back in the past. One of which is in the way that they roll over the way that they roll over the listings. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you already know what I'm going to say about this. You already know all the stuff I'm about to say. So, a while back, I guess about, maybe a year or so, I don't know, they started rolling things over every 3 or 4 months. So that really didn't affect me, at all, one way or another. To roll things over every 3 or 4 months, that's fine. As we sit today, I have almost 4,000 items in my shop. I am at 3,900. So I'm very close to 4,000 items in my shop. Okay. But, sales help and get that number down, so I need to do more listings. Okay, but yeah, about 3 months ago, I believe, is when the really bad thing happened to me. I've been paying $22 a month for, they have starter store, basic store, and then the real store. So at some point I switched over to the basic store, which is $21.95 a month, so $22 a month, and I've been at that level for years. Never had a problem with it, although you don't get very many sales at that store level. But I had been at that store level for many years. Okay, but all of a sudden they started charging me 25 cents extra for insertion fees on stuff. The first time it was only like $6, so I'm like, okay, whatever, it's okay, it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna let that go, it's okay, whatever, it's only $6. But the next month they started charging me, towards the end of the month, like the last couple of days, are charging me. And I'm like trying to look it up. I don't want to get charged anymore, it's too much, And I'm like, this is not okay. This is just not okay. So it was like the end of the month and they're charging me 25 cents, 25. And I'm like, they can't do this. Last time they charged me way too much. It's not going to happen again. I got to stop this. So I called eBay, and they said that if you're on a store level where you're on a basic store level paying $22 a month, you are only allowed to have 1,000 items in your store. Only 1,000 items in your store. Every item above that, they will charge you 25 cents to renew whenever it comes up. So let's get the calculator out here real quick and see what that does to us. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I have 4,000 items in my store, right? Okay, say you get at the $22 level, you get 1,000 of those relisted every month for no charge. Okay, so 1,000. So that's 3,000 listings. 3,000 listings. 3,000 listings times 0.25 cents. That is $750 extra that they want to charge me per month. eBay is vicious. eBay wants to make money. And if it's making you pay an extra $750 a month, that's what they'll do, because they really do not care. They do not care about the seller. They don't care about the seller, okay? I'm not saying this to be mean or rude. This is eBay. This is eBay rules. This is how they do things. This is how they operate. They are sneaky and they are vicious. So if you only have 600 or 800 items in your shop, you don't have to open a store, and you could open a store and just pay the $22 level store. If you pay more, they will show your items more. I'm not saying what you should do, but if you pay them more, they will show your items more. They want to separate the part-timers from the full-timers. Do you have another job? Do you have another source of income? Okay, go there and do that, because we don't want you here. If you're serious and you're gonna put yourself to the grindstone and get stuff listed and get things done, if you're a good, fast go-getter, a hard worker, then you're a full-timer. Then they want you to put your money where your mouth is and pay them. If you pay them $60 a month rather than the $22 a month, you are now a full-time seller. You're a full-time reseller. Congratulations. And they will promote your items and they will show your items. That's the difference. That's the difference. And they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that. What they're telling you is, if you're paying only $22 a month, you can only have 1,000 items in your shop. And we are not going to show your listings to the buyers, because other people are paying $60 a month for their subscription, and we'd rather them get the sale. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how eBay is. And I learned it the hard way. The second month, eBay charged me an extra $10 for having listings that were over 1,000. So I went in and I delisted unlisted about 200 items so that I wouldn't go over. Everything that was going to end that night, I took it down so that I would not be charged an extra 25 cents each for each listing that was going to renew that night. So anything else that was going to renew that night, I took it down. And then I called eBay, and that's what they told me. So my choice was to take all of the listings, take 3,000 items out of my shop and leave only 1,000. And that it was horrible. It was just horrible. So my choice was to stay at the $22 level and have only $1,000 in my shop and delete the other 3,000. Now, I would have to at some point find them. I mean, I don't know how long they can stay in your unlisted without being deleted. It's probably 90 days if I were to guess. But you're not going to sell 1,000 things in 90 days. So say you sell one thing, you add one more thing from your unlisted. You're not going to go through all of that in 90 days. You're not going to sell that many items in 90 days. So those items, all those unlisted items will be deleted. And you'll have no way to find them. So that left me with no choice. I had to go ahead and upgrade my shop to the $60 a month level. But since I did that, I have been getting more sales, and I have been passing like $100 a week. I've been getting like $120 a week, usually. Sometimes it's less, sometimes not more. But I've been getting more sales to where I can pay that $60 a month fee for eBay. The problem is, I used to make that much. It's probably been a couple of years, but before that, I was making that much, if not more. I was making more than that before. Probably, I think it was about a year ago. I was making that much or more. But ever since they started making all of these upgrades, all of these new things, is when they've been deciding that they want to charge the sellers more. And the promoted listings, they want you to promote at the suggested amount that they suggest on each listing when you list it, 10-12%, whatever. I don't do that. I list everything with a 5% promotional fee. Sometimes I do 6 or 8%. Some of my older items are on a 2% rate. You know, at different times when I list things, I do things at a different rate. So if it was listed at that point, then it would have been at 2%. And a lot of my jewelry items are still on a 2% rate. Usually everything across the board I do 5%. Once in a while I try the 8 to 10% just to see if that'll make a difference. Just on one random item. One random item, 8% or 6%, just to see if that makes any difference. And you can't really tell, because if it sells, they just take the percentage and they don't tell you what percentage it was that they took. So it really is not going to help anyways. It might help sell the item, but it's not going to help you know if putting 8% is better than putting 5% as far as in getting an item sold. That's not gonna be something that you're gonna be able to learn from that experiment. So unless you dig deeper, do all that math and stuff. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do that. No, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. I know that not everyone is gonna go back 10 or 12 videos and watch, and look at all the titles of videos that I've done and different things that I've talked about, different things that I've done. But eBay is vicious. They are, and they will get every dime they can from you if they can. So that's just something to keep in mind. As far as getting a store subscription. If you don't have over 1,000 items, there's no reason to get a $60 store subscription. Once you pass 1,000 items, you're gonna have to, not my words, okay, you're gonna have to get a store subscription that costs you $60 a month. Otherwise, they're going to charge you 25 cents for an insertion fee on each item that you have that is above 1,000 items a month. eBay rules. That's eBay's rules. It's just how it is. We pay to play. And they said in one of their emails, if you don't like it, you don't have to be on the platform. That's how they care about the sellers. If you don't like these new rules, you don't have to be on our platform. But eBay or Amazon maybe have the most eyes on their platform than any other platform. Now you can go to Poshmark, you can go to Mercari. Bonanza started doing some rules that are similar to that, and it doesn't make any sense to be on Bonanza anymore. Kevin Commonwealth Flipper has explained this in one of his recent videos, that he is quitting Bonanza, and he was a long time Bonanza advocate. And he's quitting Bonanza because of the new fees and stuff, that it's not going to make it worthwhile staying on there. So he has been experimenting with Crazy Lamp Lady Jocelyn's new, well, not new now, website marketplace, District. It's called District. So if you go to district.com, there are many marketplaces on there, and they have fees that are not like eBay, and their site is growing and growing. If you go to Didbit, that is Kevin and Dave and Carrie working that site, and they have 3 or 4 other sites on there, stores on there, and their wives also have a store that they run together where they sell makeup and beauty supplies. And this is what they're working on together now. They have live shows over there, and they also have static selling and wholesale lots. So if you go to district.com, you can look on any of the shops there, and they're under Didbit, and they have wholesale lots that you can purchase from. Before they were doing this, they were on Whatnot. A lot of the resellers that I see do sell on Whatnot, and that was probably made aware to resellers by the way of Kevin and Dave and Carrie Trashy Cash podcast that they do once a week or whatever, who knows. And people have been going to Whatnot. I have been approved on Whatnot. It's very hard. Well, it was very hard to get approved on Whatnot. I've been approved on Whatnot to sell ladies' blouses. That's what I've been approved for. But it's basically live selling, and I know that you can list things individually and not do the live selling, but I haven't done any of that. But I've heard a lot of people talk about they have purchased things on Whatnot that were very cheap that they could buy so that they could list and sell on eBay for a much greater amount, where they might buy something for $3 on Whatnot and sell it on eBay for $30, something like that. I'm not sure, like they watch the live, you know, and bid on things. You get 3 or 4 items and you pay a really small amount. They send that out to you and you list it on eBay, you know, for a much higher price. They're worth more, but they just want to get rid of them over on Whatnot so they can move more inventory. I don't know, I don't get it. But anyway, that's what they're doing. I do know that you don't get as much money for stuff when you when you sell it on Whatnot or when you sell it on Didbit. I know that you don't get as much money for it as you would if you sold it on eBay. So I sell on eBay. I do have some things listed on Mercari. Whenever I list on Mercari, I use the tool where the copy and paste tool, where you can copy and paste from eBay onto Mercari, and that's what I use. So every time I list something on Mercari, I write the item number down here so that I know what's listed on Mercari, because Vindu is just really sorry and really expensive, and I do not use Vindu for cross listing. If I use Vindu for cross listing, it would only be to list things on Poshmark, in which I find Poshmark is really tricky, I guess. I don't know, I don't understand it. And I have sold on Mercari, and I do have things listed on Mercari. I do have things listed on Poshmark, but I have never sold anything on Poshmark. So I don't keep up with it. I don't even look over there. I know that nothing is going to sell because I don't know how to do it. You have to send offers. I don't even know how to do that. I kind of know Mercari a little bit, and I know how to do eBay. So I don't worry about Poshmark. I know nothing's going to sell there. So, what else am I leaving off? There are other places where you can sell things. I'm not sure. You'll have to watch someone else's video for that. I don't know. I just use eBay and Mercari. I don't get sales on Mercari very often, but I do check it on a regular basis just to make sure, just to make sure something hasn't sold over there. But I found this shirt. I wore it, I tried it on the other day, and my daughter's like, that shirt is so thin and you can see your bra like so clearly through it. You need to wear something under it. So I found this white shirt in my closet, so I'm wearing this white shirt under it, and I think it looks really good. It's a sleeveless white shirt, so I can still see the lace on my sleeves. I don't know, but I really like it, so you might be seeing this shirt in more of the videos coming up. So I just wanted to say that I'm going to get this video out for you. Oh, I did have that order this morning. My daughter has taken that to the post office. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that my daughter can take packages to the post office for me, because I do not feel like getting out and driving around every day, especially when it's only one order, And I have this bag here that I'm going to show you next, and then we're going to do this monthly what sold video for February. And then I have 2 more bags over here of stuff that my daughter gave me. I guess I was just kind of bored with the, I mean, it's still a big stack of clothes here, but I don't know. I'm kind of bored with what's on top, and I feel like I can't pass up a deal. I don't know. But we'll talk about that more when we get into this haul here. Okay, so I think that's about all that I needed to say. Let me know down in the comments down there if there's anything else that you'd like me to address or any more questions that you'd like me to answer. I'll do that. I might write the questions down because it's just me trying to remember what questions they were, and I may not have remembered all of the questions that I wanted to answer in the video. So please just let me know what I've left out or what else you'd like to know. Alright, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.